Hello, Nicole here with Glam for Events, licensed beauty professional of over 17 years. I am coming to you to do an update because lots of things have changed since my last recorded bridal guide. So for 2024 and 2025, things are getting very magical. With that being said, I do have some preferred vendors and locations that I do work with, both in Loomis and Davis. And those are going to be amazing. Um, some of these events have been televised, and I think that is fabulous as well. With that being said, I wanted to talk to you about a bridal guide related to how how far in advance you should be doing all of your beauty services, when you should book me, and all that good stuff. So, as you heard, I do photo ready hair and makeup specific to events, including and never forgetting bridal. And with that being said, these are the things that you want to consider when I'm booking my location and date. Is it in an area that's easy for me to travel to? Do I have an area to get ready my day of that I'm getting married? Am I going to be in the salon getting my hair and makeup done with a bridal team, or am I having them go on location? So, with that being said, once you get your date, and your location, like your venue booked, as soon as that happens, you're going to go ahead and start reaching out to your beauty professionals. For for me personally, because I do hair and makeup, I also have a bridal team that does the same. I have several, I have a whole team of women that I can reach out to and work with and I do work with on a regular basis. Some of the locations that I work with also have a preferred vendor list that you can either choose from or that is recommended. And the reason why they have this list is, and I am on these lists, by the way, a few of them. The reason why they have these is because they work best with the venue, they're most familiar, and they're able to provide the best service, and they're in active relationship either with the venue owner, the management, or some of the team that's related to marketing and coordinating. So, with that being said, I like to work closely with the coordinator and or venue owner, or management should need be, related to when I can either go into a beauty suite or what I can access. There are times that people have me stay on site for me to do bridal touch-ups throughout. Most of the time, my makeup specifically is 12 to 16 hours of wear. So most of the time, most of my clients do not need me to stay. There is times where they change their look, and they change that the client changes their look and so on and so forth. So there is that possibility of, because they are changing their look, that they may need me. That's an additional rate. But I want to go into what you can expect. Now, normally, when you get your venue date, it could be a year and a half, 2 years. Sometimes it's 6 months to 9 months in advance. As soon as you get that venue date, um, you probably, while you're waiting, probably have some people in mind. A lot of brides will pick someone either that is referred to them or that works directly with the venue and or coordinator. With that being said, I do have a lot of referrals out for that or photographers. So with that being said, I have a full list of vendors that can help my brides, which is a great resource because bridal season can be stressful for the bride. So with that being said, this is what I do that sets me apart. I give recommendations of when people should be getting facials or beauty services, what they can do. I also have a Patreon that has tons of beauty tips of things that can be done. A trial is normally done 2 to 3 months in advance prior to the wedding, or close to a bridal shower or bridal party of some sort. The day of is really with a trial. The trial is going to take longer. This is going to help us discover what things we should or shouldn't do, where we need to place potential extensions. You know, this can also be something color related. Like um, we may realize that we may need to adjust something in the way of color or do some additional treatments to maybe get the hair healthy or more smooth for the day of. So, with that being said, here's some things to consider. You're going to book in advance. I have a team of hair and makeup artists that I work alongside with that specifically work on weddings and photo shoots. People that do photo shoots are great for bridal, as far as, especially as far as makeup goes, because they know what it takes, what's going to look nice behind camera, which is going to be different. Please keep this in mind. What I apply may be heavier in fuller coverage. However, it's going to look really great behind camera. And so maybe it's a little heavier than you expect, but keep in mind that photo ready hair and makeup requires a lot more product and a lot more attention to detail than, say, everyday hair and makeup and all that stuff. Now, with that being said, also something to consider, something that I provide. If you have women of color or women that have very textured hair, coily, curly hair, and the style requires the hair to be smooth, that is something that's going to need to be done in advance. If the person is leery about having the right foundation shade available, you could, have that client bring that foundation shade. I will say this, I have a very inclusive, which I think is amazing, a very inclusive line when it comes to what's in my kit. I have hair care that works for almost all hair types. I do recommend that people come with their hair smoothed out if we're doing a general thermal style or an updo. Obviously, I will work things out with the bride if there's something additional in advance that I need to do, or I recommend that she does to prep her hair. There are times if the bride is wearing a simpler style, like a down style, and their hair needs to be blown out day of, there's sometimes we'll make an exception to the rule. Um, but for the most part, I normally ask people to come with their hair prepped and clean. I may blow dry in some additional product on dry hair to prep it, especially if there's difficulty with curling. I may set it and do different things like that. So I normally give instructions. I do a contract during the trial and or meet up with the bride to do the contract. I take a deposit to book and hold the date. Alongside that, I'll do a consultation and a quote. Normally a general consultation and quote so that they have an idea. Typically, the deposit will go towards a travel fee if I'm traveling. Sometimes the pricing will be all inclusive. It really just depends on the distance of where I'm going. I have a hair studio and it is attached to my home. So some people do tend to sometimes get ready at my hair studio and home. That is an option that I would open up at no additional cost if need be. But like I said, the deposit is important. That's going to book and hold your date. I'm not accepting any other clients during that time. If you need me to stay additionally beyond your actual, I normally get you ready up to an hour before your wedding so that way you can take photos and things like that. If you need me to stay for additional time beyond that and I've already completed my work, it will be an additional fee for touch-ups and things like that. Sometimes people need that. A lot of the time, the people that need that are typically people that wanna change their look completely, maybe are sweating profusely and want a touch-up between ceremony and, reception. Some people have a really extended time in which they are doing, events and services. It really depends culturally. Um, but I'll say most of the time, like I said before, my makeup lasts anywhere from 12 to 16 plus hours. So a lot of the time people do not need a secondary unless they're completely changing their look or they're concerned about photo ready related stuff and they really want me to stay. So that is an additional rate. So I think what's really key that you're going to get from me is lots of experience, being able to work under pressure, planning ahead, and creating a beauty schedule for you and your bridal party. Uh, Actively being willing to communicate with anybody that is in charge and having thorough communication, having a contract that protects you and lays out everything, which you would get a copy of and so on and so forth. And so I think that's really important. And obviously, having other qualified beauty professionals that really are keen on professionalism, ongoing training for the newest trends and what's going on now, and also just really that have good keen timings. That way we can keep you on time and keep you on schedule. All those things to me are very important alongside obviously professionalism. But I create a schedule that makes it a lot less stressful. And I would be in active communication with you throughout the entire process once you put down a deposit and we get your quote out to you. So I hope this is helpful. You have any questions at all, go ahead and call the number. We can get you a quote. Um, we can talk about expectations and things like that. And some of my brides, they don't quite, they're interested in my services and they come across me before getting their venue. Normally they'll set up a follow-up date with me for me to reach back out and they just get general quotes so they have an idea of what to budget for. But I really truly believe the areas that people don't realize that are important is photography, what you're wearing. So your dress needs to be amazing. I have a hookup for that. I have a hookup for photography. The way you look, that confidence is going to show through. So hair, makeup, clothing, and photography tend to be the most important things to have for you for a long term. For day of, I feel the most important thing is having a coordinator to make it a little more stress-free and have a go-to person that is not yourself to deal with everything. And that's really huge. If you can I have venues that are available where you do not have to set up the day of and tear down the day of. That's something that's also very stressful, is having to do things that no bride or groom should have to do on their wedding day. You should be there and fully present and enjoying every moment, honestly. Anywho, if you want someone that can advocate for you in the way of having great communication, great skills, professional skills, and be organized, running a tight ship for you and your bridal party, I'm definitely your girl. Have a wonderful day. You have any questions, please feel free to reach out.